One dial design that's intrigued me to my core is the California dial. Why in the world would you pair up Arabic and Roman numerals on the face of a watch? Well, if you are Rolex, you can do it. Let me start by telling you what actually is a California dial because that is going to set the tone for the watch that we have today. When the upper half of the dial is laden with Roman numerals and the lower half of the dial has Arabic numerals, that's what constitutes a California dial. But this has no relation to the state of California whatsoever. The pioneers in this instance was Rolex. They actually filed a patent in 1942 and called this a high visibility dial or an error-proof dial, which made its way with a legendary watch called the Rolex Bubbleback. Hey guys, this is Yacht Watch Club and you are at the right place to witness some honest dialogue about wristwatches. If you like what you see, do give us a shout out. So I have another watch in the form of Vostok Amphibia that has been hanging around with the high rollers at the tip. Now Vostoks have a very special place in my heart and that too for the right reasons, but let me get to that point in a bit. When the micro-brand culture is running amok, Vostok comes as a breeze of fresh air, very much like the Delhi pollution that's there to stay. And one such amphibia that adds a bit of formality with rigidity is what we are going to look at today. Let's uncover a mix of humility, affordability, and durability with this phenomena called Vostok Amphibia. The nomenclature is as boring and confusing as this amphibia is called the 2415.01-14064B. What you see here is a watch that's made of stainless steel and the build is thunderous, which you will realize as soon as you hold it. Now this is a larger than average timepiece with a case size of 44.5mm and a related lug-to-lug width of 48.8mm. The bulbous case back contributes to a 15mm thickness, which reminds me of bubbleback watches from back in the day. And the weight this one carries is just 90 grams to balance things out. First impressions about this California dial are positive as you see the Romans and the Arabics fighting it out with their quadratic equations. The matchup is fairly balanced as the hour markers are painted on this olive color gradient dial, which is an unusual shade. The minute markers on the periphery do add some sense of normality that's well coupled with the syringe shaped hands. The seconds hand is a pure play in white while the hour and minute hands are outlined in black. And you'd also find a variable action fluorescent paint that is prevalent on the hands and hour markers, which tries to do its best in the absence of light. The dial is eclipsed by an organic glass, which is actually a domed acrylic crystal with a handsome curvature that will only accentuate more scratches as you continue to wear it. The bezel is a free sole as it can rotate in either direction with just a thought, and it's quite thick while being laden with golden text to match up the dial. The contouring of the bezel from the sides provides for an easy grip and it's pretty functional. And one thing Vostok did right here is the brushed polished finish throughout the case that keeps those scratches away, while this Vostok is a rendition of a cushion case design. Can you see the size of the crown? Because this can be spotted from a mile away as it is a screwed down crown to enable higher water resistance. The Vostoks instill some sense of practicality with the dangler on this one to help in absorbing unnecessary shocks that may break the movement while adjusting the time. The seconds hand sweep is smooth as this is powered by a 2415.01 movement from Vostok that powers this watch for 31 hours on a single wind. Now this is a 31 jewel setup with an accuracy of -20 to +60 seconds a day that's cased below this neatly stamped stainless steel case back. The water resistance on this one is a massive 200 meters to justify what the brand does. This amphibia does rests like a king on the throne with my 7-inch wrist donning this like a boss. And I still wonder why Vostok has never formally entered India, because this is a price point where we like to buy our watches. And you can get your hands on this one for just 8,500 rupees plus customs if you order this in India. The $100 price tag is mind-boggling and absolutely welcoming for the kind of watch you get at this price. A very sensitive price point demands for more options, while getting an automatic at this price is a global anomaly. Let me give it a try as the competition stands behind with this Buderi Voyager automatic that became an instant hot seller the day it was launched. and Timex has the Marlin Automatic to comply with the standards set by Vostok. And Casio has only quartz watches to sacrifice, while the EFB 109D and the Edifice chronograph have been my recent favorites. No other automatics come to the table, which is then left with quartz watches like the Timex Q Chrono and the Titan Stellar collection. Out of all the above, I still feel Vostok wins the lottery, not because it got lucky, but because it got hungry and it does munch away the rest of the competition. And one important question that I still haven't addressed is where you could buy this from. The best way to order this watch is from their website, but that's technically not possible if you are in India. So the other option is to order it from a third-party retailer called Meronom or Commanderski. I feel Vostok is the heartthrob of the watch community because they are pretty intense watches, and that's why they never had to promote any of their watches like the Casios and the Timexes of the world do. They have successfully made a solid product that speaks for itself. The 10-year service gap on this one is a living testament to the durability of this watch. And Vostok watches have to be the best alternative to buying a watch. Why? Because they never die. Unparalleled strength and unmatched resilience is what makes this one a solid Russian beauty. And as people say, when you buy a Vostok, you got yourself a Russian tank. I would happily rate this watch 9.5 out of 10 for just existing. And I seriously hope you find it relevant to get a sense of all Vostoks in the world. Till you do, what are you wearing today?